I took the first bite and I was like,
it's spicy.
And Marcus did one of these. It is Sunday, November 15th, 2020, and on this week's edition of Sunday Sofa Time from The Office, we're gonna talk about becoming a part of Pirates of the Caribbean scenery inside Captain Jack's. Happy Sunday, everyone. For all of you who love the red sofa, don't worry, like I said before, I'm not gonna do it here all the time. Sometimes it's really much better to sit in front of the sofa, but when I've got video material that I wanna like show and present, I just realized that this way's a little bit better for me, and I just think it's okay to switch it up a little bit, right? In the video I uploaded a few days ago, first of all, I hope I made it clear that you shouldn't go to Disneyland Paris with the same hopes for fantastic culinary experiences like you get at Walt Disney World. There are, however, a few diamonds in the rough, to quote Aladdin. One of them, by the way, is the Agrabah Cafe, which is themed like Aladdin, and that's the video that I uploaded just a few days ago. And the other one for us is Captain Jack's restaurant, which is actually inside Pirates of the Caribbean. And I just realized this while I was setting this all up. If you've ever had the dream of being like an audio animatronic figure, like being part of a Disney attraction and just like standing inside pirates and blending into the scenery for a while, that's basically what you do when you go eat at this restaurant. Because when you ride the ride or, you know, experience the attraction, it's like you're in a Caribbean town and you're floating through a bay, and that's how the story begins. And in this bay that you float past, while you're on the ride, you go past a restaurant, and that restaurant is Captain Jack's. So when you're sitting in there eating, you're like part of the ride, you know what I mean? And so when I think of, you know, the price and everything that we paid that I'm gonna show you at the end after we go through all the food as well, you know, think, okay, when you think this is the price for the food, then it's one thing. But if you think, how much would you pay to be a part of the scenery of Pirates of the Caribbean for an hour and then have fantastic food included as well? It all depends on how you market it, I guess. The entrance to the restaurant is right outside the exit to the attraction, and the atmosphere inside is just, it's amazing. Originally, this venue was called Blue Bayou to match the similar restaurant inside Disneyland, California. If you want to see a really old video that I did about that from 2013, it's linked in the description below. The name in Paris was changed in 2017 to make it a little more identifiable with the movie franchise, I think. If you're going to Disneyland Paris and you want to eat at Captain Jack's, I highly recommend you make a reservation, because when we were there in July 2020, just after the first lockdown, when the park was still pretty empty, we still couldn't get a table as walk-ins. I know people use the term immersive a lot when they talk about Disney, but this restaurant is totally immersive. There are very few things that break the illusion of being in this other world. From the long hallways that get darker and darker as you enter, the bridge over the little waterfall once you get inside, the gorgeous lanterns hanging from the rafters, the fireflies, the sound effects. It's just so cool inside, and like I said, there's very little to break the illusion that you're walking down to a restaurant on the water somewhere in the Caribbean. One major improvement in the design in Paris over the original in California is that in California, the dining area is all one flat area. So if you want to get that feeling like you're in the attraction and watching the boats go by, you have to be sitting like right on the beach basically. But in Paris, they made it multi-leveled, and it's just so cool, and you get a better view from basically anywhere in the restaurant. That being said, as I'm sure you can see from what I've showed you already and what you're gonna see coming up, it's really dark inside. It's like nighttime inside, so it's not a great place to get pictures. The menu offers starters, main courses, and desserts, and from our experiences, the starter portions are shareable. And in fact, if you're 2 people and you're really not hungry, you can probably just share 2 starters and maybe a dessert, and you're gonna be fine. And actually, I don't know if that's allowed, so you better check that before you do it. Marcus got the cod fritters with fried cassava, tamarind sauce, and Creole cabbage salad, and I ordered the Caribbean guacamole and root vegetable salad. And when I ordered it, the server said,
"Oh, good choice, but I have to ask you, do you like spicy food?"
and I said,
No, I'm fine with spicy food.
and he said,
I just want to make sure that you really like spicy food because the guacamole is spicy.
and I said,
Yeah, cool.
and he said it one more time,
So you're good with spicy food.
and I was like,
Yeah, I'm good.
moving on to some not so great images of the food. I got some much better footage of the main courses, just so you know. So here's a blurry picture of Marcus's cod balls. I don't know what to tell you about that. I didn't have them. I didn't try them, but they were almost as big as my fist, and there were 4 of them. So like I said, definitely shareable. And this is what my guacamole looked like when it showed up. And I figured out how to use the light on my iPhone as like a video light. So this is what it looks like after I had tried it for a while. And I have to tell you, I took the first bite and I was like,
It's spicy.
and Marcus did one of these. I like spicy food, and this was amazing. Like I said, this is after I ate like half of it, and it came with a mountain of shredded veggies on top of it, and then a pretty good portion of guacamole at the bottom. And I think 3 or 4 of these bread chips, and if those were like all the way around, then that would have been a meal for me. I would have been totally happy after that was finished. And it was the kind of spice, I don't know, this is gonna sound crazy, but it was the kind that it's like, it burns, but it immediately makes you want more. I was like,
My mouth is on fire, but I can't stop eating this.
really good, but also I think it's good that the wait staff there are trained to make sure that people understand they're ordering something spicy, because I'm sure otherwise people are gonna complain about it. Moving on to the main courses, you can see there's only one vegetarian option, and that is the vegetable curry, plantain, banana, and captain's rice. Marcus ordered the slow roasted smoked suckling pig with grilled aubergine and squash. And you know, as I was looking at this today, I just downloaded this from the Disneyland Paris website, by the way. It says grilled fillet of wahoo. Wahoo? That doesn't sound like something I want on my plate. Or am I thinking of wazoo? Don't you say?
Stick it up your wahoo.
Let's get back to the food. This is Marcus's suckling pig, and with the slices of roasted veggies on the side and the rice. That rice, by the way, is the same rice that I got. I didn't try any of this, so can't tell you about it, but this was mine. This was a very good curry dish, and like I said, after eating all that guacamole, I really wasn't that hungry anymore, but I finished it anyways because it was so good. It had veggies, and I'm pretty sure pineapple in there, and one thing I wanted to mention was this roasted plantain here. It actually seemed more like it was deep fried, like it was a blob of plantain that they had thrown into a vat of oil. On the one hand, really tasty. On the other hand, not very light and delicate, if you know what I mean.
Light and delicate.
So we're gonna move on to dessert next, but please forgive me for putting a little commercial break right here. So if you got one, write what it was about in the comments too. Moving on to desserts, you guys are gonna be disappointed, but after all that fantastic spicy guacamole and then this thing of curry with that really hearty chunk of plantain, I was stuffed and we didn't order dessert. But we can go through the menu and figure out what we would have ordered. I'll let you guys know, and then you can also write that in the comments too. Let's see here, we've got some island, so I would not have ordered the rice pudding. I would definitely not have ordered the fruit soup. Tonka bean flavored chocolate tart, oh, that's probably what I would have got. Island style rum baba with lime and mint, ooh, that also sounds good. Shortbread would not have got that. Yeah, I think I would have ordered the tonka bean flavored chocolate tart. What about you? All in all, my bill for my starter, my main, and I had a glass of wine. It's Disney, we were on vacation, don't shame me for day drinking. My total came to $58.98, so almost 60 euros, but like I said, you're paying for that amazing atmosphere. The portions were large, and on the other hand, like I said, how would you market this? It would be something like, Are you ready for an extra special Disney adventure? For just 60 euros, you and your family can become part of the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction. You'll be playing diners in a Caribbean beach town as the boats float by in the first scene of this beloved attraction. And in order to make it as realistic as possible, you'll also be served some fantastic food. Like I said, it only costs 60 euros and it's for an entire hour. Are you interested in playing that role? Sign up here. I would do it. 60 euros to play a part in Pirates of the Caribbean and get great food? I'm there. Like I said, there aren't a lot of fantastic sit-down restaurants at Disneyland Paris, either in Disneyland Park, definitely not at the Studios Park except for the Ratatouille restaurant, and really not in Disney Village either. But Captain Jack's is one that we always visit, along with the Agrabah Cafe, which is the video that I uploaded just a couple days ago. But now comes the time on Sunday Sofa Time where I comment on your comments live on air. In last week's Sunday Sofa Time, I told you about the one cruise ship I've been on that I will never cruise on again. If you haven't watched it yet, you know where to find it. These comments are on that video. And the first one is from Yvette T. Yvette writes, "You are judging 10-year younger Morgan pretty harshly. 10-year younger Morgan had to learn to be you today. He did the best he could with the knowledge he had, smiley. I wonder what advice you would give 10-year younger Morgan if he could hear you." You know, I think what I would tell younger Morgan is, listen dude, 2020 is gonna be like the most up year, and you're gonna be in a job that you sort of enjoy, but that's really stressful. But you might wanna wait a couple more months before you leave that to become a full-time travel vlogger. That's what I would tell him. Next comment is from Chuck and Jaden Source, or Sourcey. They write, "Love that you're looking back at your videos. I just found you recently and I found your presentation and information entertaining and helpful. Thanks for your insight." Well, thank you for coming over here and thank you for taking the time to write a comment. Final comment is from LJ Roth. LJ writes, "Morgan, you've definitely aged gracefully.
Thank you.
I love your Amazon links idea. Here's a strange coincidence. I just finished researching external hard drives before watching your video. Someone else recommended setting up a store. I don't have a clue how that works, but I think it would be great. You could add more travel accessories and also everyday household kitchen items, things you've used on Guten Morgen. I definitely trust your recommendations, and if you get a little money, it's a win-win." Thank you for mentioning that. This is actually the 5th video that I've uploaded since last Sunday. I've put like over 2 hours of YouTube videos on the internet this week. And if you've watched all of them, then you've heard me talk about this before, but if you don't know this yet, I have set up an Amazon store. It's a place where, like LJ said, if you're looking for things like a hard drive or maybe a new camera, a fancy leather watch band, a Harry Potter hat, water shoes so you don't slash open your foot at the beach like I did, you can find all kind of products like that of things that I actually use and can recommend, or things that I wish I had, in my Amazon store. It's in the links below, and it's a way that you can get things that you might be looking for anyways, or that you want to get for somebody else, and you help support the very unofficial travel guides, because by buying it through my links on Amazon, I get a little bit of a percentage on qualified purchases. In my live chat, people were like, "Don't say a kickback, that's shady." So I'm not saying that anymore. Thanks for the tip. I've said this before too, Christmas is coming up really soon, so if you need to do some Christmas shopping, I also made like a suggestion list of sort of very unofficial travel guide gift ideas for under $50, so check that out too. And thanks as always for spending this part of your Sunday, or whatever day it is, with me here. This is the end of the week of Disney. That doesn't mean that I don't have any Disney videos left, but starting with the next video, we are going to be on board the MSC Grandiosa cruise ship, and I'm really excited to get back into that footage and go through everything. It wasn't too long ago, but still, I always forget certain things and I just like to relive it all while I'm editing it together, so we'll do that next week. Bye-bye.